Good afternoon, and welcome to the Sports Doctors Inn. My name is Earl Rush. I'm here along with our analysts, Larry Abels and Cuzzo. How you guys doing today?
Hey, it's all good in the hood.
Doing great, can't complain.
Great, great. All right, well, we got a lot of NBA that we're going to be discussing today. Before we get heavy into it, I got a couple of weird questions. Larry has a couple of questions that he's going to ask before we get into our NBA main topics. First question I want to ask Cuzzo and Larry is, all jokes aside, I'm not trying to be facetious or funny. Why is Giannis playing right now?
I have no clue. I was thinking the same thing yesterday when they played. The question is, do you think he's ready to be back, or do you think that they should just preserve him so that he doesn't?
I would ask that question even if he was 100% finished rehab and everything. Why is he playing?
Because he's a professional, he's healthy, and they're paying him. Why shouldn't he play?
I mean, they're not looking too good.
They're not gonna win anything.
Right.
He's a professional. Why shouldn't he show up for work and play? They're paying him $50 million a year.
I can understand that.
Play basketball.
That's a fair argument.
Okay.
Did you guys watch the game yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't that impressed with his game yesterday.
You gotta have somebody to play with, man. You have nobody.
Well, he looked like he'd been out. He looked like he'd been out for a while.
All he do is layups.
But he looked like he was, a little off. He played okay to me, but he looked like
he
he'd been off.
played how many games though? Like, of course he was off.
It's been.
No, that's what I'm saying. He looks like he's been off. He looked like that's my point. He looks like he's been off. I thought he played okay, but he wasn't his normal self.
I'm the owner of this team. I don't want to get hurt because that's going to mess up any trade possibilities.
Right.
We're not going to the playoffs. Not going to just tank and get ready for the end of the season.
So you're going to lower ticket prices?
Huh?
I hate tanking. I think people need to show up and do their job.
Nah, there's no reason for this guy to be playing. You're risking him getting hurt.
How about professional pride?
Yeah, but he's still on the trading block. So I mean, I would
gotta be careful with your assets, man.
And he's their main asset. So I would be careful with him. I mean, last night he played, he was on minutes restriction. They lost by 30, I think. He should have just never played,
Sit down. We don't know.
He should just sit down for the next 3 months. He's a basketball player. You're paying him. You are the owner of the team, and you're paying him $50 million. So you just gonna give him $25 million.
He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything for the money they are paying him now. Anyway, he ain't doing nothing for it.
Yep, that is true.
I have a different point of view. I think he normally gives you your money's worth when he's there. Let him do that.
Okay.
Let's be professional.
I want to see him when he gets hurt next week and got a serious injury that's going to set him back for a year or two. He's 31 now.
Anybody can get hurt. I agree that's a risk, but I mean, basketball players should play basketball.
I agree with that.
You make a sense, Larry. It seems like you looking at me like I'm crazy for asking that. If you pay, play. No, come on, there are other things involved besides that. He could get injured, man.
Yeah, anybody could get injured playing basketball, no doubt about that. But the bottom line is we have a contract. I'm selling tickets to my fans. I need to put on the best show I can put on. And if he's healthy, he should play.
I agree.
His fans aren't getting the best that they can get.
If he plays, they're getting the best they can get. and he puts out every night.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point. But again, you got to protect your asset. And I
That's
mean,
what I'm talking about. That's all.
for as much as if I did play him, he would probably be on minutes restriction for the rest of the season for me because there's no chance of winning anything. They might not even make the playoffs. So, and at the record now is pretty bad. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs anyway.
They're not.
So,
I mean,
with that rationale, probably all but 3 or 4 teams should be playing any of their players anyway.
well, not if they're not just coming off an injury, then it's fair game. But Giannis is coming off of an injury.
Well, I mean, but any of their players could get hurt. Part of what you guys were arguing, and the injury is, I agree, is a different thing. If he's healthy, my first statement is if he's healthy, he should play. But other teams, it's probably only 3 or 4 teams that really have a realistic chance of winning the title. So they should rest their players too, because their players can get hurt.
But not if they still have something to compete for. The Bucks don't got nothing to compete for now. I agree he should play for ticket sales and things like that, but for
Professional pride.
right, but for the sake of the Bucks, I mean, if he gets injured, they're done. It's going to be hard to
They're
trade.
not even gonna be able to trade him, right?
Right,
They're not even gonna be able to trade him.
right.
Who wants somebody with a torn Achilles?
Yep. So I mean, it's a fair point.
I don't want you to think that I know what you're saying is correct. I don't want you to think that. I don't want you to think I'm just being outrageous and being silly. I know he
No, I think you're reflecting an attitude of a lot of what's going on now. Maybe I'm too old school, but I think that's really going to hurt this league in the long run. They got a problem with people not playing.
Yes.
People that are relatively healthy don't play a lot of games. They got a problem with load management and tanking.
Right, but I feel like that's a bit different. You got people that sit out for load management and they're completely fine. People that come off of injuries should be on minutes restrictions. And you have some teams, I know you don't like tanking, but if you plan on making off-season moves, I mean, it's probably best to let your underdeveloped players play in the game more and get more experience, especially if you're probably not going to win anyway. That's just my thought about it.
But if you have Giannis on the team and he's healthy,
yes.
he should play.
Is he healthy?
Yes, that's the whole thing. He wouldn't be out there otherwise.
Do you think he's 100% healthy?
I think he is. Yeah, I think he's just out of shape right now because he
Okay.
hasn't been playing. Same thing I saw SGA earlier last week. He got 30 points, but he probably shot about 35 times. He was missing a lot of shots that he normally makes.
Yeah. I mean,
And they didn't even play him in overtime against the Nuggets. They set him the whole because he was on minutes restriction.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I think it's just more he's out of shape as opposed to anything else.
I understand. I just think the best thing for them to do is play it safe.
right.
But especially if they plan on rebuilding their team this offseason, whether it's around Giannis or whether it's getting rid of him and trying to get other people. I mean, for the sake of the franchise, I'd prefer to play it safe. But for the sake of the fans, I mean, all their fans come to see Giannis. So,
And fans in other cities too.
right, exactly. So it's a fair game, either direction you go.
Before your time, Cuzzo, and I think it was largely a racial thing, but basketball, they didn't even play their playoff games. They played them on tape delay. And the league was really suffering at that time, I think, for not realistic stuff. I think they were out there putting out, the players were playing every night, but for whatever reason, they couldn't get on TV doing live games. You had to watch playoff games on tape delay. Okay, the league sort of came back after Magic and Bird. They kind of brought it back, even though they started on tape delay. Michael Jordan and all of them, and they kind of came back and those guys were known for playing all the time. Now all of a sudden, I think players don't they're too young to realize what the league at one point the league was kind of looked at in a bad state. And I'm starting to look at them like that too when they don't want to play. When players don't want to play, something is wrong.
I agree. I mean, and you've also got to think about it from a point of an athlete, right? Imagine if you're coming off an injury, you want to play. You have coaches that are going to let you play, and you have coaches that are going to sit you down and say, no, you're not playing. Or you might play a little bit, but I'm not going to let you play as much as you want to play. I feel like because the NBA is a business, it's a much thinner line to follow because you have to worry about ticket sales and, generating income and also not wasting money on players that are okay but not playing. So I feel like it's a fine line.
I mean, that's a call you have to make. And my whole thing, I'm prefacing everything. If he's healthy, he should play. Football players do that all the time. They're in an inherently dangerous sport, and they're not 100% after a few games, but they go out there and play, and they know they're going to get banged up.
Right.
I don't know why basketball players, if you're deemed healthy, why not play? If you're hurt, sit out. I'm first to say that.
Yes.
All right.
What do you think, Sports Doctor?
I mean, Larry makes sense. If he's healthy, we paying him. He's supposed to still get paid $50 million a year for the next 3 months, not do nothing because you might want to do something with him later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what Larry's saying, you can't say nothing against what he said. What he said is being professional. I'm saying if he's my asset and I'm trying to trade this mug, I'm not playing him anymore because the team's getting nothing out of him playing this year right now. You're jeopardizing your situation by playing him.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting nothing out of him playing. Fans may be getting their money, but
so even if he's healthy, you're taking that point of view.
yeah,
I am.
Yeah. See, I had a problem with that. If he's got an injury, yeah, I would definitely not want to put him in a situation where he can, he's not 100% or not even.
How you gonna feel when he hurts himself and out for a year and a half or 2? You just gonna say, "Shit happens."
Just like I would feel bad if I had any team that happened. I mean, any player that happened. That can happen to any player.
All right, so
you can take precaution against that, Larry.
But it's a lot of teams. Okay, so 2 teams I would ask you guys about: Minnesota or the Timberwolves. I mean, the Timberwolves or the Clippers. I think they're decent teams. Mm-hmm. They got good players. But should we sit down? Do either of you think either one of them will win a championship this year? Minnesota or the Clippers?
It's a different situation what you're asking me.
No, but I'm asking a question. Do you think either one of them will win a championship?
I know neither one of them will win a championship.
I know neither of them will win.
So should they sit down Anthony Edwards or Kawhi Leonard?
Not.
Kawhi Leonard's been injury prone.
Listen, it's a different situation. If they're thinking about trading them, yeah.
I mean, both. I'm not exactly sure of their records. I think both of them are still in playoff contention, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if they have the opportunity to make a deep run in the playoffs, yes, you should play them. Because you never know once playoffs happen. You never know who's going to really turn it up and who's really going to come to play. So, because they have a fair chance in the playoff, play the entire team, try your best. If somebody gets hurt, they get hurt. But for teams that have no playoff contention dreams, I mean, why are you doing that?
Okay, so let's use the Clippers. The Timberwolves are in 4th place. We'll say that they're in the running for sure. But the Clippers are like in 9th place.
Yeah.
Now they started the season
They still have a chance to win. They still have a chance to win, Larry.
They're in 9th place. They're 2 games under 500. But they started the season off horribly. All right.
Right.
But they've elected to play their players, and they've now they're only 2 games under 500. At one time they were like 8 games under 500. But I still don't think they're gonna win the championship.
But they'll probably they'll have the chance to be in the play-in tournament. They'll probably win whatever team they play in the play-in tournament. They'll probably beat them. I mean, they have a fair shot to try and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, the Western Conference Finals, maybe. But at the same time, I mean, the Timberwolves and the Clippers will probably end up playing each other at some point along that journey, I think.
Where the Clippers are ninth now, they're going to end up probably even playing the Thunder or the Spurs after they get out of their play-in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder, Spurs, or Nuggets. So I kind of doubt if they're going to. Well, they might be one of those teams. That's why I was even asking that question. They've been playing well lately.
Yeah, and I mean, when you have a superstar, it's really hard to tell. I mean, it's like the Nuggets. I can't count them out because I don't know if y'all saw the game last night, but Jamal Murray had like 45.
Yeah,
boy's a bucket, and you can't call it before you go in the game. In some games, he has 16 points. It's other games where he goes for 50. You can't call it. Nikola only had 16 last night, and they still won. So, I mean, it's hard to tell, who's going to bring it and who's not.
Who still won last night?
So what?
Denver won that game last night?
Yeah.
So Milwaukee's in the 11th place right now.
They played against the Jazz last night.
Oh.
Milwaukee's in 11th place right now, right behind the Charlotte Hornets. So if they catch them there in that playoff, they're in the same boat with the Clippers. With Giannis being healthy, they probably would have been higher had Giannis not missed all these games.
And that's another thing there. I mean, if the Bucks play against the Clippers, I don't know who's going to win. I think the Clippers should probably win that game, but Giannis does some things in the game where he'll get you into foul trouble. He can throw off a team's plan. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
But back to the fundamental question, I believe players should play if they're healthy. This is a business. You have a product out here. You owe it to your fans. Otherwise, if you're not trying to win, we run players out of the league for not trying to win. They would be barred from the league if they didn't try to win. I think management needs to try to win too. That means playing your best, put the best show out there.
I agree from a business standpoint, from a money standpoint. But sometimes the logic might not be there. I mean, it might not be there. Because you could put Giannis out there and like Sports Doctor said, what if he gets injured?
No, I that's a risk. I mean, that's a risk for everybody.
It is, but it's even more of a risk for people that
take.
If he's healthy, I don't see why it's any more of a risk.
So let's change gears here. Jason Tatum, ACL injury. If he comes back and he's healthy, are you going to just throw him in there and let him play 37 minutes a game?
I'll see how many minutes. I'd probably increase it from time to time. If he can go 37 minutes, I don't know what he's doing in practice. It would be based on what I saw in practice.
Okay. Now, I think
my thing is, if you can't play the whole game, I'm wondering if you're really healthy.
Right.
I think the minutes thing to me is more of a conditioning thing.
It is a condition thing, but it's also, I mean, when you're coming off an injury, especially the ACL, I mean, some of those injuries are more likely to come from muscle fatigue again, anyways. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to have to play in order to build that fatigue up. It's not just stamina; it's muscle fatigue in your body as well. So if it were me, I'd probably, because the Celtics are still playing okay. So if it were me, I would probably bring him back in around 20, 25 minutes maybe, and let him just kind of get in where he fits in. If he's playing good and we need him, he stays in. If we're winning, come sit down beside me, Jason,
I agree with that. I agree with that. Sharice, how you doing?
Hey, Sharice, how you doing, darling?
Cuzzo, this is Justin's sister.
Okay. Hello, Sharice.
You had a great question. She's pretty much agreeing with you.
I agree with her. Yes, yes. But I mean,
I
it's tough.
wouldn't play Tatum. I wouldn't play Tatum this year.
Even
I would play him if he's healthy. I would play him.
Now, I will say, Earl, I will say, if we get in the playoffs and we're in the Eastern Conference Finals or something like that, Tatum's playing.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be healthy. I really have to trust my doctors on that. He's got to be healthy. If there's any,
He's come back faster. Not that it can't be. Not that his body could be different.
well, but it's been a year.
He come back 2 months before.
He came back sooner than what you would think for that type of injury, for sure.
Yeah.
It's been almost a year. He got hurt in the playoffs last year.
He's come back 2 months faster than anybody else.
And I mean, think about Tyrese Halliburton. I think he tore his a little before Jason Tatum, right?
No, he tore his in the finals.
Okay, so it was a little bit after. Okay,
yeah,
because I don't think he's anywhere near coming back.
But everybody's injury may not be exactly the same.
That is true, but ACLs are scary. I would treat them pretty similarly, you know.
You're talking about
my whole thing is I would go based on medical. Yeah, I mean how he's doing. I agree. I'm not rushing him. If he can't really come back,
you bringing him back now. He ain't supposed to be back.
No, I'm not making a call. I'm saying I wouldn't rush him if the medical people look at him and he's ready to play. You know, I'm sure they have to have some criteria that he's got to meet, but he's got to meet that criteria. If he's not 100%, no, I'm not bringing him back.
I mean, the way I honestly think about it is like you said. I mean, you got to trust your doctors for that. Everybody has a job. They trust you as a coach to win the game. You trust the doctors to say whether or not this person's able to play. And you got to have trust. I mean, if the medical doctor says that they're cleared to play, but you feel like they shouldn't play more than 20 minutes, they ain't going to play more than 20 minutes. I don't care if the doctor says that they're good to go. I feel like everybody has a call, and everybody gets paid to make that call too. But I feel like the coach has the last call, you know?
Therese just raised a good point. They need an unbiased medical clearance. So that means to me, it shouldn't be a team doctor that's only one making that call. He can put in, but they need somebody that's not a part of the team needs to look at it. Somebody the team is not paying and let them look at it. Taking nothing away from the team doctor, but I would get a party that's not being paid by the team.
Do you think they're biased?
Say that again.
Do you think they're biased?
I don't know. That's calling in question somebody's professional judgment. But when I think about the NFL, they send players out there all the time. They make the determination: are you hurt and can you play? And it's an inherent conflict there because their job is to get the person back out there as quick as possible, and they get them out there while they're hurt. But the nature of that sport is different. So they get them out there. But I think when you get a third party that's not part of the payroll, and I give the team doctor some input too, but let both of them see it.
Okay,
that's fair. That's more money too.
We're spending too much time.
You guys are rich.
We're spending too much time on something. I just want to know why the guy's not playing, and we got our views. We spent almost half the show.
That was a good topic, man. You brought up a good topic.
Not no 25 minutes topic.
Apparently it was.
No, I wasn't. Apparently, I wasn't doing my job. My job was to moderate and move things on, and I'm sitting there listening. So let's move on.
What else you got?
All right, let's get into the NBA. A lot of people are getting kind of excited over the Knicks' last 2 minutes. Even the odds makers out in Vegas have changed the odds to having the Knicks being the favorite to win the East. And this before they lost the 2 games, before they won the 2 games this past weekend. The Knicks were behind Cleveland, Cleveland,
Detroit,
Boston,
Boston.
Detroit. They were behind all of them in the odds. Now they're favored over everybody to win the East. They picked to win by the fellas out in Vegas. They picked to win the East over Detroit. Come on. So
I
they
made
won
the
two
fair
games.
argument before. I made an argument before. I think they have enough talent to beat the Pistons. I do. Honestly, I do. The Knicks, I think so. I mean, and I'm a Kate Cunningham fan through and through, but the Knicks might have just a little bit of an edge over them, possibly. I think the Pistons play harder than them, but I think the Knicks have more skill than them as a team. Honestly, but the Pistons play with heart. Which one wins? Who knows? You know?
You don't think the Knicks play with heart?
No, I think some of them whine too much, and not really. But when they come to play, they're good, especially when Karl Anthony Towns comes to play. And I hate him, and but some games he does his thing. It's like some games Cade don't play good. If Cade doesn't play good, they don't win.
I don't question the Knicks' heart. I think most of these teams play tough basketball hard. I saw earlier this year when the Knicks were predicted to win the title and they fell off. Now they're back apparently, but I don't think they're as good as Detroit. I'm not sure they're even as good as Boston. And if Tatum can come back and be healthy and any semblance of himself, I really would like Boston better than them.
They are not better than Boston. They're not better than Boston because now Boston has a big man, Vucevic, that can guard Karl Anthony Towns. And that X's him out right there. I mean, Boston is good. Boston is good, man. Sometimes they play a little, wonky, but they're good. They've got some pretty good talent over there, I feel like.
I think the Knicks are a very good team, but they're not consistent enough against the top teams. They can beat some of them sometime. I look at Detroit. Detroit has beaten them all 3 times they played them this year.
Really?
Yes. They beat them the last time with 2 players out because they were fighting right after the All-Star break. They had 2 players missing, and they beat them by 18. The time when they had their full squad there, they beat them by over 30 both times.
They beat about 30 twice, right?
Right, the first 2 times. The third time they had 2 guys out there got in a fight with the Hornets right before the break. They still beat them by 18. Bad matchup for the Knicks.
I'd like to see it in the playoffs. I'd like to see it in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that'll be. They have a little more of a veteran squad than the Pistons, and I tend to like veteran teams in the playoffs.
Yep. But like I said, though, and I'll say it again, the Pistons play harder. They play with heart. They play harder than I think the Knicks do.
What makes them play harder? Why do you say that?
Like, I'm watching them right now. Like, they bumping and they start to look like the old Pistons in some of these games.
Oh, they're more physical. Yeah, I'll say they're more physical. I don't know if that's. I wouldn't necessarily think that was harder. They're more physical, no doubt about it.
Physicality comes with effort, especially when you can play physical without fouling. That requires effort. You know what I'm saying? So, or effort and IQ combined, I guess I would say. A lot of teams don't do that. They're not afraid of anybody, and I think that's why they play as good as they do. Period.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think the Knicks play. They when I hear about somebody playing hard, I think the Knicks put as much effort into a game as the Pistons do. They're not as physical. They don't try to knock you down and all of that. But I think they go right back at them.
I mean, for the most part, the Knicks are a more soft team than the Pistons are. What
do you mean soft, man? What are you more?
They're big man is soft.
That's a tough thing to say.
You heard what he said. He said that big man is soft.
And it's supposed to start with him. So I mean, if he's
Thank
soft, the team over.
I wouldn't say that the Knicks is soft. I call Anthony soft. But I would say because the team was soft. They're just not as
Carl
well.
Anthony is more of a finesse player. He's a jump shooter, big guy. You know, he's a finesse player. He
He's
doesn't,
soft.
and when he tries to mix it up, he gets in foul trouble real quick. He
Right.
gets in
He's
foul trouble
awkward.
when he try to be physical.
Awkward, man.
Yeah, I know. He gets in foul trouble. He needs to stay away from that.
He's awkward and he doesn't like being touched. As a big man, I mean, you should crave physicality. You know what I'm saying?
But when you're soft, you are what you are.
And I agree with that. You can't teach that. That's something you can't teach.
I think he's taller than 7'1" too. He's bigger than that. He must be dunking on people, man.
Yep, I agree. And he's not like a small 7-footer. He has decent size to him. So, I mean, I don't know. He's soft. I agree with you, Earl. He's soft.
Y'all are rough, man.
Yeah, he's soft. Might be as soft as they come.
Y'all.
Is Phoenix going to the playoffs?
Is who?
Phoenix.
Let me see what their record is.
Who did you say?
Phoenix.
The Suns.
Oh, the Suns. I don't like them.
They're in 7th place right now. They're 6 games above 500.
I didn't ask you where they were.
If they're in 6th place, they got a good chance of getting to the playoffs. Or 7th place.
It depends on how close the rankings are. I'm looking right now.
They if they got to finish in the top 10, they got a great shot.
I mean, the Warriors are about 3 games behind them.
The Warriors about 5 games behind them. 5 games behind them.
Warriors aren't going.
No, 3 games. You're right.
And the Clippers are better than the Suns and the Warriors. So all it takes is for a few games to go by. It's still a lot of the season left. So I don't know.
Yeah, but the Trailblazers got that last spot, and they're way ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see. I honestly don't think the Suns are that good, but apparently they're doing okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised they're that far above 500. I thought they were probably under 500 until I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
They're 8 games above.
Cavaliers been playing okay since Harden's come. Do you think he'll make a difference in their
Yes.
playoff chances?
Yes.
I think so too.
I think he's what they needed.
People
It
are
gives
funny.
them a different,
You sold something 6 or 7 times, and you still got people thinking, well, they just might just do it this time. James Harden's not going anywhere.
I think the difference this time is they normally relied on him to score, and they don't need him to be the primary scorer in this team.
Whatever they rely on him on, they're not going to the playoffs because of him.
Well, they're going to be in the playoffs.
They're not going to do no damage in the playoffs.
I wouldn't count them out. I mean,
that's why we're here on the show, to hear 3 guys who have sports knowledge to hear their opinions. That's why we're here on the show.
I agree. And you also got to keep in mind Donovan Mitchell is injured right now too. So it just depends. He has a groin injury. He hasn't played in the last 3 or 4 games, I believe.
He hasn't played. Okay, he's not in the playoffs. He gets hurt in the playoffs the last 2 years. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
People get hurt. You can't control getting hurt. I understand. I got that.
Yep.
They won 7 out of their last 10 games, so
That ain't gonna do. That ain't got anything to do with him being hurt. But we were talking about in the last 2 playoffs. Him winning 7 out of 10 games ain't gonna do what we were talking about.
no, it shows that they're playing well lately.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we're not. I'm not concerned about late. I'm not concerned about during the season.
You're concerned about years
I'm
ago.
concerned him falling off in the playoffs, which he's done for the last 5 times he's been in the playoffs.
Yeah, lately might be more relevant than what he did years ago. He's in a different situation now. All those times, those teams relied on him a lot for scoring. I don't think Cleveland looks at him like that now. If he scores, it's okay. If Donovan Mitchell being hurt is going to be a bigger problem.
They're not looking for him to do all that, but you will admit that he has to do very well for them to win, right?
Yeah, I think he has.
They are depending on him. Maybe
I don't think he has a score though. I think, as far as if he passes and stuff well,
he has to score.
He can
score a little bit. He don't have to score like 25 or 30.
Score.
I think he doesn't have to score 25 for them to make it to the playoffs. But the deeper they get in the playoffs, he has to score the ball, I feel like.
Well, the more he scores, the more effective that team will be, no doubt about it.
Right.
Doesn't it seem funny that it seems like there's certain players who get a label of not being able to do in the playoffs? They got players like that, right?
You know what happens?
And there's a reason why. Because they consistently don't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He just can't come through in the playoffs. That's all. That's all he's shown me.
Yeah, I think teams make adjustments on him, and he can't. He doesn't seem to be able to adjust. Either his coach or him, they don't seem to be able to adjust. And sometimes he does it in one series.
What makes you think he's gonna be able to do it this year?
I don't think they're going to rely on him for what they relied on him for. That's what I keep saying. I mean, in the past, he's always been relied on to score a lot. I don't think he's necessarily going to be. He's certainly not going to be the leading scorer in this team.
I mean, I think his role on this team is very similarly to what it was on the Clippers. I mean, you didn't have to be the main scorer. You had Kawhi. You know, you could run point guard, but you still have to score the ball. You're still one of the quote unquote best scorers, you know, that the league has seen over the years. You got to show it, and he doesn't show it. And I think sometimes his condition, as far as his stamina, is an issue. I think sometimes he's a defensive liability, and
he's that all the time,
right? And I also think that because he's not the quickest player, it's very easy in the playoffs to put someone on him that he hasn't seen that matchup for all year, and it's easy to throw him off. You could put a young guy on James Harden, and he'll stay in front of him. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult. And James Harden does the same 4 moves the entire game anyway. When you watch the game, he does the same.
Yeah, I think teams adjust to him. I think they make adjustments, and he can't. He doesn't react well. I don't know. I remember it was real evident when he was playing with the Sixers, and they did it, and he didn't. I don't know. I didn't know whether it was the coach or him, but they made no adjustments when teams started doing different stuff to him.
And that comes to how you are as a basketball player, though. I mean, if you're really a star, the coach doesn't have to tell you do this instead of doing that. If you're a real basketball player, okay, he's guarding me this way, or I can't get away with this. I have 6 more things up my sleeve that I'm going to do. I'm going to get my 30 regardless. So, you know, I don't know. I feel like he's had a difficulty doing that.
I think on this team, I think he'll do all right because I think one thing he does very well is pass the ball. And he's always good at that. But he can get guys that he can alley-oop on this team, and I think he'll make them look good.
I hope so. I mean, because to Earl's point, I mean, he's a bust in the playoffs. He doesn't come through.
Oh, I agree.
And I mean that's what makes your legacy, in my opinion. Even if you don't win, are you a dog in the playoffs, or do you fold up and go in the corner? I mean, who knows?
Well, he's definitely got to prove himself. I just kind of think on this team, it might work better for him. This probably is his last chance.
I think so too. I mean, he's getting a little older. He's not going to get no faster. He hopefully he don't start eating more food and pick up weight again. This is his last rodeo to me. I hope this works for him though. I like him in Cleveland. I liked him in when he played for LA too. I thought they would do better, but they didn't. So
Sports Doc, you keep asking these tough questions, man.
I don't know. I'm confused about James Harden. At one time, I thought he was really, really, really good. I really
Hmm.
did. And he came to the playoff, blowing up in the playoffs. Steadily kept coming. I'm like, he's never had a good playoff. Come on, there's a problem. There's a problem there. He's been in the league how many years? How many years has he been in the league?
A long time, a long time.
If you've been in at least 6 playoffs and you were successful and you didn't have a good performance in none of them, you're not.
Well,
not a
he
good
did
player.
all right when he was in Oklahoma City.
Well, that was the
They
point.
did all right. How can they be all right when they lost a 3-1 lead? Come on, man.
He played all right when he was in Oklahoma City. He's been bombing out since he's left there.
It's because, but this is the point I was going to make though. You have players that play well off the bench, and they think, okay, I can have my own team, right? Some players are better in their roles. James Harden was 6th man. He could come off the bench and he could score 20, 25 points. That was his role. When you put him in the spotlight, it don't work that well for him. I mean, he's a spotlight player, but he's also like a battery. You know, you come off the bench and do your thing and be happy with it. How many players have we seen, and especially since y'all have been playing, that you could throw them in the starting lineup and they play okay, but when they come off the bench, they play like they have something to prove. Some people are better in their roles. James Harden stepped out of his role, in my opinion. And
James Harden is a left-handed ball player who sometimes has inconsistent traits.
It's funny you say that. Some of the most pure shooters I've ever played against were lefties, and it's funny you say that. I think about it opposite.
Okay.
Now they did go to the finals a couple of times when he was with Houston, and he was the man there. They made it to the.
He was
finals.
on a team that lost a 3-1 lead, Larry. How good?
Yeah, but they got to the finals. It wasn't like they.
How do you lose a 3-1 lead in the finals of the playoffs?
Hey, it happened. It's not just him. What I'm saying is he got to the finals. Some other times, like when he was with Philadelphia, they didn't even get past like one round or something. That's really when I look at him like failure. But I know they got to the finals twice in Houston. Now, he didn't come through. I agree. But some other times, they didn't even, his team didn't even advance, mainly because of his lack of performance.
But I feel like them losing that 3-1 lead says a lot about you. I mean, if I'm a star player and we up 3-1, I smell blood. Y'all not going to beat us 3 games in a row and come back and beat us 4-3. It's not happening.
Not if you thorough. That's not going to happen.
Who beat them? Who came back on them?
Who was it? Was it
Warriors? The Warriors.
Right. And that never happened.
Cleveland came back down 3-1 against the Warriors.
Yep, sure did. And that stuff doesn't happen often.
That was because that had something to do with the administration.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the Clippers did that to them.
Yeah, that playoff was fixed.
No, wait a minute. They came back 3-1 against the Clippers. I'm not seeing one that he
San Francisco Warriors lost to Cleveland. They were up 3-1.
Right.
That was fixed.
I think a lot of this stuff is fixed, but
that series was fixed. How you gonna lose 3-1 LeBron?
Could you guys imagine being a coach of a team that's up 3-1 in the finals and you get beat 3 times in a row and you end up losing 4-3?
It's happened a couple of times.
Steve Kerr did it.
I would be mad.
I don't know why he gets all this. I don't know he gets all this respect for coaches anyway. I really don't.
Yeah.
Lakers need to get rid of what you call him too.
You don't like JJ?
Come on, man.
I think he's okay. I think
he's been there long enough for them to get a big man that could help them win something.
Yeah,
I know.
I think he's okay. He's not a Phil Jackson or nothing, or Tom Thibodeau. He's not a coach like that, but I think he's doing okay. These are his first years coaching. You know what I'm saying? He's still new to coaching. I think he's doing okay.
I'm not even sold on Phil Jackson, cuzzo.
Oh, you crazy. That's one of the best coaches ever. And I wasn't even alive to see him coached all the time.
Okay, so I'll tell you, if you give me 2 or 3 of the best players on the planet, I can win a championship too.
Oh, Larry, come on, man. Take skill.
Who did he have on his teams? Who did he have on his teams when he won those championships?
Well, Phil won with Michael.
You don't have to keep the team together, man. Make them run, right?
Who did he have on those teams?
Why LeBron don't have 6 rings then?
I'm just saying, there's one thing. Now, you said Tibbs. I think Tibbs has done a good job of getting the most out of teams. When he had Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, those had to be 2 of the 5 best players on the planet. In Los Angeles, he had Kobe and Shaq. Had to be 2 of the 5 best players on the planet. That goes a long ways. I never saw him take a team from the ground up and win.
Hey, they had 2 best players on the planet, and they still blew up when they had Shaq and Kobe. It takes skill to keep these teams together.
I'm not saying he was bad. I just don't see him being necessarily that great. He was a decent coach, but I think if you give me a lot to work with, I could probably win that too.
You coach teams to 3 straight championships. I don't care what you say about it. I don't care what you think. They got to be able to coach. I don't care who's on that team. Come on,
I think it matters.
And Larry, sometimes though, it's the coach allowing players to be great. Some coaches want to take control of stuff too much. So if you have, like you said, you got 2 of the best players on the planet, you trust their judgment. I trust what you're saying is happening out on the floor instead of from what I see from the sideline. That's still coaching.
I agree 100%. But just like Steve Kerr, when he decided to become a coach, it was either the Knicks or the Warriors. I think he made the right move.
But
he's got a lot of credit doing the Warriors. If he had gone to the Knicks, I don't think he'd have had those championships.
You would have had.
But the Warriors would have won with any coach. All you got to do is say.
That's the same argument I'm making for. They was on their way.
The Warriors would not have won with any coach.
They was on their way. They was on their way anywhere. Anyway,
I think so. I mean, the Warriors had a squad. All you got to do is
set. They were maturing at the right time.
I mean, their shooters were in their prime too. That's all they did was run off the screens. That's all they did. Penetrate, kick, 3-pointer.
I think Mark Jackson could have taken him had he been allowed to stay there. If he didn't make that unfortunate comment he made, I think they would have had just as good a chance.
What unfortunate comment did he make?
He said something about gay people, and he's working in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. That's not why he got fired.
Yeah, he made a comment that was unacceptable in that area. That's why he got fired.
They didn't want him as a coach because he was into Christ. He was always preaching, telling his players.
He based his statement on his religious beliefs in San Francisco. Wrong place.
He should have just kept his mouth shut, but
yes,
that's not something. Yeah. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. You said that you don't really, you don't think Phil Jackson is one of the better coaches, the best coach, whatever, however we want to frame that.
What I said was, I'm not sure he's that great. I don't think he's a poor coach, but he gets a lot of credit for the titles he's won. But I think he's had the most talent most of the time when he coached.
You know why we won a lot of the times as the Lakers? The triangle offense.
When he was there?
The triangle offense. No coaches were running triangle offenses. It was him.
So Tex Winters could have come in and put that in for anybody, right?
You got to see it, though.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm just trying to get this straight. You're saying a guy who won 6 championships was not that great a coach. I just want to get so I'm understanding.
Yeah. Not necessarily the greatest of all time. Right.
Okay,
you gotta remember, Earl. Larry's a LeBron fan, so you got to give him some. You got to understand.
No, not necessarily.
I'm just saying, the guy won 6 championships. How can he not be a great coach?
No, okay. Now there's a lot of room between being the greatest coach and a poor coach, right? And he's certainly closer to great than he is poor. But I would like to see him do. You know who I think is a good coach, and he hasn't won any titles? Detroit's coach. Every place he's gone.
You saying that all year. That guy's a bum. Yeah.
Okay. Every place he's gone, the team has improved dramatically.
Okay.
Every place he's gone. He did it in Cleveland.
He could have gone to places where they had. He could have gone to places where they had good players.
Say that again.
He could have gone to teams that had good players.
Well, he's been in Cleveland and he's been in Detroit, and they have decent players. But before he got to both of those places, those teams were like under 500. And every place he's gone, they've done well. But he's never had the 2 top players on the planet on his team.
I mean, let's be honest here. An NBA coach, you have to be a good coach.
It's so over. Next week we'll go into this. I don't know if Scotty was ever one of 2 5 great players on the planet. I don't know about that with Scotty, but we'll go into that.
For a couple of seasons, I think he probably was.
Scotty?
Yeah.
He's never one of the top 5 players in the league. Never. Never.
I think a couple of seasons he was.
Oh, no way, Larry. Come on.
Because Scotty was like a I'm gonna go back to y'all era a little bit for the way that I see it. I think Scotty was like a better Dennis Rodman. Like they played similar. Okay, so you guys disagree with that?
No,
how did he close?
Offensive threat. He was
Yeah.
He was one of the top 5. He was never in the top 5 players in the league. Never.
No, I agree with that. But I think Scotty was a good role player. He was not a good star. He was a role player. He was part of their
more than a role player. He was more than a role player.
He was vital to the Mike wouldn't have won those championships without Scotty on his team.
Right.
That's
he
a
was
role
a role player. I mean, he wasn't a role player.
That's what makes a role player to me.
He could put the ball in the hoop. Once
Sure.
he got some heart. Now I didn't think he had heart at first. I thought Detroit and the Knicks used to take his heart for a while, but once he got to be about 28, 29, he started balling.
Scotty was the man. I remember seeing Scotty play.
Larry, are you seriously thinking at one time he was one of the top 5 players in the league?
Yeah. Probably number 5. But they had number 1 and number 5. He had a couple of seasons where I thought he played great.
You can name any season he played.
Okay, so let me ask you something
I
else.
can name 5 players that were better than him.
And you know what? I think you're right. It's subjective. We can argue that. But let me ask you something then. Was he an all-star?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think he could be in the top 15 players?
Yes.
At one time or another?
Yeah.
I think so, and I didn't even see all those games.
I think that's an
I
easy call.
probably could name 15 better than him at any time, but I'll give you that.
Okay, so now I'm going to go into the top 10. Think of his 2 best seasons in Chicago.
No.
Okay. I think once he started playing well, he was there.
I mean, because if we talk in the 90s, I mean, you had Michael in the 90s, you had Hakeem, you had Karl Malone.
There was a whole lot of guys. I mean, it's an argument. Charles Barkley. There was a whole lot of guys. But see, I thought he could play with all the other forwards. I thought he could play with any of them that were out there.
I just named almost 4 people, so he's definitely not in the top 5 because I wasn't even almost done.
No, I think it's argumentative. But if you put him on a team, anybody he played against, they weren't dominating him. And some days he could play both ends of the court, which was very good. He was very good on both ends of the court.
Okay, guys, we are running out of time here.
Yeah, you said you had some tough subjects today, man.
Is Denver a pretender? Denver a pretender.
Yes.
or contender?
Yes.
Denver's a contender, especially if they get Gordon back. If they don't get Gordon back, then they're going to have a tough battle. But they
Is
definitely need
Minnesota,
Gordon back.
is Minnesota a contender or pretender?
That was the question I was going to ask you guys.
Minnesota is a contender. I mean, Minnesota is a pretender.
That's what I'm thinking, Earl. They're a pretender. I mean,
so what's the definition? What's the definition of a contender?
I mean, they got the pieces in place to win a chip.
They got a chance to win. They got a chance to win it all.
Yeah, I don't think the Thunder have all the pieces. I mean, not the Thunder, the Timberwolves. Excuse me.
I think they could possibly get to the Western Conference Finals.
So that means they're going to have to beat OKC. They're going to have to beat the Nuggets. They're going to have
to beat probably one of those teams.
Right, some variation of those teams. I don't know if they could do it. Me personally, I like Ant. I think he takes dumb shots sometimes, but I like Ant. I don't think
What do you think Minnesota is missing, Larry, to be a contender, a bona fide contender?
I don't know. I think I don't really look at them as a team with a lot of weaknesses. They just they're unfortunate that they got some other teams in that conference that are good. But if Gordon stays out and Williams stays out for Oklahoma City, and they stay healthy like they've been, I think they could probably challenge them in a series. Those other teams get those other guys back, and they get back in the playing shape. I just think those other teams have too much. I'm not sure what more they need. They gave OKC a good run last year.
Yeah, but they need more than what they have. They need a better point guard, and they need another wing that is versatile. Rudy Gobert is a pretty decent big man who does his job. He don't score, but he plays defense and rebounds the ball. Julius Randle is an offensive forward that plays basketball. They need a good point guard, and when I say good, I mean one that can take the load off of Anthony Edwards. And they need a wing player that can do everything. If they get those pieces, I think that a lot of things change for them.
You like Naz Reid?
Sometimes when he's hitting shots.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
He's a stretch forward, so I mean he can shoot the ball. He's kind of small though, but I think he's like 6'9".
If by some miracle reason, it's not gonna happen. If he stays healthy, can the 76ers be a threat to the title?
They could contend in the East, yes. I think so.
I think they'll be hard pressed to win a series. They've been too inconsistent. A lot of it might be the health of their team too.
Yeah,
but they're too inconsistent to me.
When he's been playing, they've been winning.
And I'm gonna be honest, I think they're a team that if they were healthy, they would beat the Knicks maybe.
If he was healthy, 76ers would come out of the East.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And who's the better point guard right now? Would you rather have Maxey or Brunson right now? Right now.
That's a tough call.
It's a tough call for me too. I'd rather have both of them.
Yeah, I know you're looking at Brunson as being left-handed, but he can play.
I'm saying give me Maxey. Maxey is out of control. Maxey's out of control. People ain't talking about him because he's playing in Philly and nobody talking about Philly. Maxey is the baddest point guard in the East right now. Period. That's it.
You better than Cade?
Cade ain't no point guard.
That's the position he plays for his team.
He plays point.
All right. I think it's time for our show to go. So thank you guys for tuning in today with your expertise, critiques, and Larry, are you on tomorrow for Real Fellas Talk Sports?
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that show at 7 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay. Well, Cuzzo, thanks again for tuning in and doing your thing. I always enjoy talking with you. Mr.
Likewise.
April, the man of reason for Real Talk Talking Sports. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will talk to you next week. Everybody have a very blessed and productive day. I'm out of here.